So lightweight mice have pretty much become the norm these days, right? I mean, we see lightweight mice all the time. But think about that right there. When you see a lightweight mouse, what's the first thing majority of the time you notice about that mouse? That's that it's smaller, right? I mean, heck, think about it. What's the easiest way to reduce weight from a mouse? It's just make it smaller, make it tiny, you know? And that usually leads to that basic fingertip type of mouse right there. Me personally, I like that claw or that palm. I like an ergonomic style, a bigger mouse, you know? And you don't see that too much in the lightweight mice space. A little bit here and there, but the majority of the time, they're a lot smaller. And that makes me really excited for what we're gonna talk about today, the new mouse by Corsair, the Sabre RGB Pro. So the first thing we're gonna notice right out the box looking at the Sabre here is, yeah, it's a bigger mouse. It's an ergonomic mouse right here. Very defined hump right in the middle, slopes gradually right down the back right there. I mean, it is a bigger mouse, but it fits the hand really nice. Again, when you look at the dimensions right there, so you look on the right side or left side here, you can see it swoops in. Not dramatic by any means, but it does swoop in right there. And it kind of like locks your thumb in there. It's almost like, think about a groove on 1 or 2. That's what it feels like on the side right here. It's really nice because it holds your thumb in perfect. Also, swinging to the right side of the mouse right here, there's a very slight curve up there. Kind of think Death Adder. If any of you used Death Adder before and it swoops up the front, think about this, but much less as drastic as the Death Adder, you know what I mean? Death Adder swoops out real far and hard. This guy's kind of nice and gradual there. So what I'm trying to get to you is when you combine that grip on the left and that grip on the right, it really just locks your fingers in there. It's very nice to, again, get that claw or that palm fingertip. You can do it, but as far as that hump in the back right there, how it flares out, that is gonna hit you in the back of your palm occasionally. So I definitely put it more towards that claw, relaxed claw, and then into that palm. Now going right in line with the dimensions right there, the button placement on this guy is fantastic. 1 and 2, you got nice little grooves up there, nice recessed scroll wheel. Scroll wheel is very nice and smooth, but you feel little tactile bumps. The side buttons are in a perfect position. Again, right with that groove I talked about, bam, side buttons right there. You can control it with your back knuckle, bam, right with your fingertip, and you're right into action with those side buttons. Really nice right there. Now, this is one downfall about the mouse that I noticed on my copy at least, is 1 and 2, they have a little bit of jiggle right there. Now, they have the Corsair quick strike buttons, which eliminates any of that pre or post travel. I'm talking, there is none. It is straight to the point right here, and you feel it, you really do. But you can hear that little bit of wiggle right there, right? So yeah, I mean, you gotta shake it pretty good, but also when my fingers are on it, you just feel a little bit of movement. It's nothing game breaking or deal breaking, but again, I kind of wish they were a little bit tighter in there. Now again, after looking at the dimensions, with this being a bigger ergonomic mouse and everything, it's really nice actually seeing it come in at such a lightweight still. Should be coming in at right around 74 grams. Well, I'm getting 73. I'm not too sure. Hey, maybe it's a little lighter than we thought, right? Let's try this again. So we're getting right at 74 right there. And talking about that, a bigger ergonomic type of mouse, bigger shell, still being lightweight, the build of this thing is stinking solid. No creaking, no flex, no matter where I squeeze it or anything. The only issue I really have is with that 1 or 2 just kind of budging a little bit. Now, one thing I want to point out real quick as you just listen to the sound test of the buttons, which are very crispy right there, but the DPI button, I just want to touch on this real quick. Number 1, as she goes right with that design and it's flush up there. Like, it's never in your way. I love how it's just perfectly in line with the top of the mouse there. But the really cool thing about this mouse, you can dive into the software and customize it, whether it be the RGB, the DPI, increments of 1, by the way, on the software. So again, tons of customization on the mouse right here, onboard storage, so you don't have to keep the software open. But anyways, other than the software, back to the DPI button, it's really cool because you can set, you got your 5 increments of DPI right on the side over there, and you see your lights, but you can hold the DPI button down and press the forward side button, and you're gonna increase your DPI by 50. You can press it again and keep going by 50. Press the back button and decrease it by 50 on a fly. So say you're set to 800 DPI, hold it down, bam, 850. 900, right? And then vice versa, back and forth. And it'll actually save to it, right? Press the DPI and hold both side buttons and it'll reset, flash yellow right there, and go back to whatever your stock settings were. So that's really cool. If you're in game, you're like, man, I just want a real quicker DPI or want to slow this down a little bit, bam, quick on the fly, drop it down a little bit. That is super cool. Now, as far as the cable right here, you do have that paracord style cable. It is a little bit stiff, but as you see, I mean, you got to get pretty close to actually budge it right here. You do have some of that lift out on the front so you don't get that initial drag, but it is a little bit of a stiffer cable. Throw it in a bungee and I think you're gonna be perfectly fine. Now underneath the mouse, we have 100% PTFE feet. Nice big glides right there. I didn't notice any drag or anything. I use a slower control surface, and again, very nice and smooth across it there. No drag, no scraping sound or anything. As far as the sensor, we're using a PMW 3392, and again, as I stated, you can adjust that in increments of 1 within the software there. Now the cool thing about this mouse, it is using the Corsair Axon processor, I believe it's called. But other than that, it has the 8,000 hertz polling rate right there. We've seen that in the Viper 8K, and we've also seen it in some other mice, but the biggest one's the 8K. I got a video coming up on it actually, which I'm gonna touch on that a lot more right here. But just touching on that briefly, I might be spoiling my next video. Do you notice a difference with that 8K? Is it beneficial? And let me just tell you, again, just kind of keeping it short because I will have a detailed video coming out on that 8K. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for that one. But yes, you do notice a difference in the right situation. And with the right mouse, everything in it, talking about the quick strike buttons right here, bam, there's no delay, no, pre or post travel, bam, you're right to your switch right there. You know what I mean? And again, it's going to depend on game and situation. Again, I'll have a whole video kind of touching on that with the 8K and everything like that. But yes, you do notice a difference in the right situation. It's not like you're not going to be, browsing the web like, man, I was able to buy that quicker. Maybe it's so fast you can finally get a PlayStation 5. All right, so wrapping up the review on the Corsair Sabre RGB right here. Now, through this review, touching on one thing here, you probably didn't hear me do too many comparisons of other mice. And usually when I do a mouse, I like talking about a bunch of other ones so you, the viewer or the user, can really get a good wrap up in your head like, okay, it's really like this. But believe it or not, as crazy as it sounds, I really couldn't find anything that was like this to a T. Closest would be the Zowie EC1. It's a big mouse. It swoops out just drastically. And that's not really like this, but in hand to hand, I almost got the same feel. I was able to grip this one a little bit more because again, it doesn't flare out as much as the EC1. But as far as in hand with the hump filling out the hand, I got that a little bit here. But again, it's even hard for me to even say that now, but the EC1 was even different than this because again, it swoops out so much. But if you ever had the EC1 in your hand, maybe you have a kind of a vibe right here. But think about this, you can get a better claw, kind of really get a better grip on this rather than a rest on the EC1. Other one was again the Viper 8K, talking about the 8,000 polling rate there. But really there wasn't anything I can really wrap my head around and nail this down to a good comparison of. It's just an awesome shape, it's very comfortable, and again, a blast to use. With it coming in at 60 bucks, I totally recommend it. The one thing I hope they tighten up are these front buttons. Again, they're not deal breaking or anything like that, but again, just something that I would like to see with those being perfectly tight up there. Complete, total pass right there. But at 60 bucks, again, I've been using it primarily on my iMac as far as my video editing, and that's where it stayed, and I've been having a blast using it. Again, lightweight, ergonomic, it's been so comfortable to use for long sessions. So again, if that's what you're looking for gaming or for work, it gets the job done right here. So hey, let me know what you think about the Corsair Sabre RGB Pro right here. Are you glad, like me, to finally see more ergonomic, bigger, lightweight mice coming to market here, rather than every stinking mouse being this tiny little gripper mouse right here, you know what I mean? Finally getting some bigger, lightweight, quality mice on the market. It makes me happy to finally see this. Please let me know what you think right down in the comments. Again, all links for the products down in the description as well. But all in all, thank you so much for stopping by and watching this review. I hope I was helping you out if you're looking at a new mouse, or heck, the new Corsair Sabre RGB Pro. If you got any more questions, ask right down in the comments or hit me up on Twitter at the Techne1. Always glad to top shot. Again, thank you so much for stopping by. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to some future tech videos. I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye.